When you look at the first practice, my thought has always been that when you learn to swim, you got to have a pool. When you learn to play football, you got to have pads. So the first 2 days, you're trying to get organized. You're trying to see who's in condition. You're trying to look at your new guys and see what they look like because you haven't been out there on a practice field with them, and all of that looked good. We're a much better team now than we were the day that we left after the spring game. We're deeper. The guys are in better shape. They're stronger. Coach Hess and his staff did a tremendous job this summer. And I've told them they always worry about confidence. If you're stronger and you're healthier, you'll be more confident. And then what you've got to do is you've got to play game speed every play in practice against other good players on your team, and then you become a more confident football team. So by and large, you should be pleased with the first day, but we were.
How was the leadership during the off season, and then did it carry over today, and who are some of those guys that are standing out?
One of the things we talked to our guys about when we first got here, after visiting with them, they all got along. They were all buddies, but nobody would ever call anybody out. And if somebody wasn't doing their job, it was, he's okay, man, it'll work, and all that. And Coach Hess told us this summer a lot of guys were not being rude, not being out of line, but they were saying that's unacceptable and pick it up. So I think we've crossed that line, and you look at the older guys, the fact that Strobridge is back, he looked really good in shorts. He's big and he's fast, and I think he's an NFL player. So him being back helps us. Cater and Hopper look good in shorts. We'll have to see how they look. Obviously, the two safeties, Miles and Miles, are talented. All of those guys have stepped up and been leaders on defense. Offensively, you've got younger quarterbacks that it's hard for them to lead till they figure out which one's going to play the most. So you really had Charlie Heck and Polino and Antonio Williams and the tight ends, older kids again stepping up.
What did you like from what you saw from the quarterbacks today? What did you not like?
I thought that they did a good job. They're probably, with new receivers in some cases, it probably takes them longer on a day like today to get settled than it does the others because they have more to do. And I'll watch the video, but just watching them, that's what I said, they're all three very talented. They're all three good enough. I told the entire team, don't worry about reps today. We haven't really talked about depth that much. When we get the pads on, we'll start talking more about depth. And we've told the quarterbacks, every pass you throw is either getting you closer to moving up or down. So they have more pressure than anybody else right now to get it fixed.
What is your plan for the quarterback competition? Like, how is it going to go? You just wait and see, or is there a significant plan on timetables?
No.
You're trying to make cuts?
No, there's no timetable. It's like the other day I was just thinking about it. Somebody asked me, are you going to play two? I said, I don't know who's going to play. So if one of them is significantly better than the other two, you don't play two. If you've got two that are about alike, then you play two. So that'll all be decided. But we've got 30 days. So we don't have to do it tomorrow. And the other thing that's and it's a story for you all. I've been through this. It will be asked every day until, and then when we do, it'll be asked why, and why did he get that? I got this. I had it a bunch in Austin, but it's real, and it's a question all your fans are asking, so it is real. But again, you don't want to do it too quickly and make the wrong decision. You got to make sure you have enough information that you can make the right decision.
Do you want to give them time to be the guy for a couple?
Absolutely.
I got the sense that the wideouts and other guys are instructed not to delve too deeply into answers about that position.
We didn't talk to them about it yesterday or last night or today. What we did in the spring is said all three of them are good enough, and they're all three talented enough. So be fair. Let them work it out. Don't you start trying to coach. And that sounds like they did a good job of that today.
Can you lean on running backs that have experience a little bit more in camp? When you have young quarterbacks trying to sort things out. Obviously you can when the season starts, even for a guy settling in. But can that work in your favor?
You can lean on running backs, but you've got to press your quarterbacks and make them do things that they're going to have to do for us to have a great season. So you can't hide them. Phil and I have said we're going to go. We're going to make them play at the highest level, and we're going to be demanding of them. We're going to put them in really tough situations and see which one comes out.
With the running backs, how did them coming out, they've had this offseason to study, how did you think they look, and the depth that you talked about is a good problem to have?
I asked our coaches this morning to wait 10 days, and then I want both sides of the ball to rank our units. Who's the best unit on offense? Who's the best unit on defense? And then I'm going to ask the staff separately to rank all the units, period, across the board. Who is our best? And in the spring, the running backs were our best. And it really wasn't close. So all three of those guys are good. Robert and I talked this morning about how do we rotate them and all that. And I said, let them all play. They're all going to play. We'll figure that out when we get closer to game time. Because you're going to need probably more than three. So we got to get British Brooks and Josh Henderson ready too.
You obviously had the spring, but this is your first August day back out here. What's it like for you personally being back in the saddle?
It was fun for me. Every day that I coach another day reinforces the fact that I love this stuff and I should be doing it. Sally was out of town and she called last night and said, how you feeling? I said, I can't wait. I'm excited. So watching the guys, I love fixing things. I've got way too many notes for the coaches to be happy in our meeting this afternoon. But it'll be great. Our second practice will be a lot better than our first one.
What areas do you still have depth concerns at? Obviously, there's a few. You mentioned defensive line earlier. What stands out in terms of areas you really need to focus on for depth?
In this offense, you need a lot of receivers. So those guys need to stay healthy because we don't have more than enough. We've got maybe just enough. And then you start looking at linebackers. You're inexperienced there. So we've got to get probably 5 linebackers that can play. We need 6 of those interior guys that can play. We're not really experienced at the outside. That's why Cater and Hopper need to step up and be in that mix. We haven't gotten any word on Cam Kelly yet. You would like to think that when somebody starts practice, you would know whether they're going to be eligible to play this year or not, but that just hadn't happened. We haven't gotten the response back, so hopefully that'll come soon. So we'll move all those secondary guys around, but I think we have enough people now to satisfy our depth issues. Now we got to figure out of those young ones, which ones can step in and help, and how many plays can they play. I will say that the 2 backup defensive interior people, Taylor and Gill, look better today in shorts. Can't tell again without pads, but you can tell they've worked on their bodies and they are stronger than they were when they left spring.
In that last season, Aaron Crawford was considered one of the best players in the spring. How's he looked? What do you think about his potential for this season?
I think Aaron and Strobridge are really good. They're kind of the kingpins of our front. And we need to stop the run better, and they're a key part of that. Strobridge, I've never seen him before today, except on film. He's really quick, and he's big. He's got the long arms for pass rush, and our guys had trouble blocking him in the pass rush drills, so I was really impressed with him. And of course, Aaron's tough and a big run stopper inside, and those 2 can be really good players for us.
Living the spring, you mentioned the kicking game was a little inconsistent. I know it's just one day, but where do you think stand with the kicking game right now? Place kicker, punter, kickoff specialist.
I didn't get to watch the punting enough today because we did so many drills. The kicking was inconsistent today, which worried me a little bit. The kickoffs were good, but we missed a couple of field goals, and that's unacceptable in shorts the first day back. So that's still something we've really got to consider.
And that's something that's going to just have to work itself out over the next few weeks, sort of like some of the other
It's
positions.
kind of like the quarterbacks. You bring in a young walk-on from Virginia and Kim, and you've got Rubino coming in from Appalachian State, along with Ruggles. So we've really got to look at all 3 of those guys, and if they're all 3 about alike, like if the quarterbacks are all 3 alike, then you have to figure out a way to separate them, and we'll have to do that.
Coach, just quickly coming in again as the new coach, I guess, what do you take away from these first couple of days of practice, or what do you hope to take away from these first couple of days?
I wanted to see if we were in shape, and we are. I wanted to see how the young ones looked, and they look good. Now we've got to figure out who's mature enough in an early enough stage to help us at South Carolina and Miami, and because some of them may be 6th game guys, and some of them may be opening game guys. We're not looking at redshirting anybody right now. We're not worried about who's going to play 4 games and all that. We're trying to figure out how to win games. So we told the guys that if you want to play, you jump in and play. If you want a redshirt, we'll look at how we can manage 4 games and try to get you in some. But right now, we're looking at everybody to play. So conditioning, effort, confidence, and starting to build some depth.
Got
Get a
time for
depth
one
chart
more.
and build some depth.
Outside of getting bigger and stronger and faster, what did you want in particular from the off-season weightlifting and conditioning program?
I wanted confidence. That's something we haven't had, and it's even evident when you ask the players. They said we got to get more confidence. We got to get more confidence, and when you're in better shape and your body's better and you feel better about yourself, you can have more confidence. Even and Antonio Williams as he was walking out a few minutes ago, said, you know what, I was dying in the spring because of tempo. And he said, I thought I was in shape. And he said, I'm in so much better shape today. Well, I think part of it's understanding what's expected and having a full summer to work toward that. And the young ones will go through that now. They'll get really tired here the first 10 days and get worn down, and we'll have to figure out how to keep them here and then try to get them separated and see who's going to play. But I think that's the biggest thing is when you feel better about yourself. They 10 of them, as they were leaving, said, what do you think, better? Are we better? So there's still some of that being unsure about who we are, and I said, we're absolutely better. And I told them that. And we're better in shorts. We got to be better in pads. But now, off the field, go to bed, take care of your body, eat the right stuff, get your rest, and come back and study this afternoon and tonight. And then tomorrow we progress and have a better practice tomorrow than we had today.
All righty.
Thanks,